You won't believe what pushed Boosie to his breaking point. After years of staying quiet, he finally snapped, and it wasn't just about words. Charleston White disrespected his family, and everything Boosie had held back came crashing out in a storm of anger, emotion, and truth. Tonight, we reveal the real story behind the clash that's shaking the internet and why Boosie isn't backing down this time. What happened next will shock you. Boosie has always been known for speaking his truth, but this time, it's personal. For months, tensions have been simmering between him and Charleston White. But what finally pushed Boosie over the edge isn't just another online spat, it's a deep, emotional battle over respect, loyalty, and family. Tonight, we're going behind the headlines to uncover the real story, what was said, what was felt, and what it truly means for both of these controversial figures. You won't believe the moments that were caught on camera, the private messages that surfaced, and the shocking reactions that followed. This is where it gets unbelievable. Boosie's response wasn't just anger, it was a message, a stand, and a warning. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this feud has everyone talking, why it hits so close to home, and why Boosie might have just drawn a line that can't be crossed. And believe me, what happens next changes everything. Before the world witnessed Boosie snap, there was a simmering tension that had been building for months. Charleston White, known for his controversial takes and fearless commentary, had been calling out several figures in the hip-hop and entertainment space. But this time, his words crossed a line: Boosie's family. Boosie, who has always been protective of his loved ones, had tolerated criticism and even disrespect before. But when it started touching on matters involving his kids and close relatives, something inside him shifted. Sources close to Boosie revealed that he felt personally attacked and publicly humiliated. This wasn't just another online argument, it was an attack on his values, his family, and the legacy he's built. Social media, as always, became the battlefield. Charleston White's posts were sharp, biting, and intended to provoke. Followers of both figures quickly fueled the fire, sharing clips, memes, and comments that escalated tensions. Fans on both sides began taking sides, turning what might have been a private disagreement into a full-blown internet spectacle. Insiders say that Boosie didn't plan to respond at first. He wanted to rise above, to let the words roll off. But as the attacks intensified, friends and family reportedly urged him to speak up. One source close to Boosie told us, "He's a man who protects his own. You don't just disrespect his family and expect him to stay quiet." And then came the moment that changed everything. Boosie decided it was time to confront Charleston directly, not with subtweets, not with hints, but with a clear, undeniable statement that would leave no room for misinterpretation. But what happened next wasn't just a verbal exchange, it would set off a chain of events that nobody saw coming. And this is where the story starts to get truly explosive. The day Boosie decided to respond, it wasn't just another post or video clip, it was a statement of raw emotion, a release of pent-up frustration, and a warning to anyone who thought they could disrespect his family without consequence. Fans had been waiting, some anticipating a measured response, others fearing the storm that might come. Boosie's video hit social media like a lightning strike. In it, he didn't hold back. His voice trembled at times, not with fear, but with a mix of anger, hurt, and a deep protective instinct. He addressed Charleston White directly, calling out every insult, every jab, and every disrespectful comment that had been aimed at his family. What made the video unforgettable wasn't just the words, it was the emotion behind them. You could see the history, the frustration, and the principle at stake. Boosie explained that for years he had stayed quiet, endured criticism, and even laughed off petty jabs. But this was different. His family's name and his personal life had been dragged into a war he didn't start, and now it was time for accountability. Fans and viewers immediately noticed the intensity. Some applauded Boosie's courage, praising him for finally standing up, while others braced for an inevitable escalation. Social media erupted with clips from the video, reactions, and debates. Some clips went viral within minutes, and hashtags related to the feud began trending. But the story wasn't just happening online. Insiders revealed that behind the cameras, there was a personal conversation, messages exchanged between Boosie and Charleston, attempts to de-escalate, and even warnings from mutual friends. Yet every effort seemed to fan the flames rather than calm them. The tension was palpable, and it was clear that this wasn't a fleeting controversy. It was becoming a defining moment in both of their careers. And just when the world thought it couldn't get any more intense, something unexpected happened. A private video surfaced that showed Boosie confronting Charleston face-to-face, a moment that fans could only imagine until now. The footage revealed Boosie's raw honesty and unwavering stance, leaving viewers wondering, how far would this go? But what happened after that confrontation changed the narrative entirely, shocking even the most die-hard followers. And this is where the next chapter gets even more explosive. The moment Boosie's response went public, the world exploded. Within hours, his video was circulating across Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, with clips being shared, debated, and dissected endlessly. Fans immediately noticed the shift. This wasn't just a celebrity feud, they were witnessing a man defending his family with everything he had. Supporters of Boosie flooded social media with messages of solidarity. Many praised his courage, saying that finally, someone had stood up to Charleston White's relentless provocations. Comments poured in from thousands of followers. "This is why we ride for Boosie. He finally said what needed to be said, and respect your family or face the consequences." On the other side, Charleston White's followers were quick to respond. Some accused Boosie of overreacting, while others applauded his honesty but predicted that this feud would only escalate further. The back and forth was relentless, with viral threads and heated debates dominating comment sections for days. Every new clip, reaction, or repost seemed to intensify the fire, creating a cycle that neither side could easily escape. The media quickly caught on. Headlines ran across entertainment news sites, YouTube channels, and even mainstream media outlets. Analysts weighed in on the deeper meaning of the confrontation, breaking down Boosie's words and Charleston White's prior comments. Opinion pieces debated whether this was a personal defense or a strategic public move to regain influence in the hip-hop conversation. But the story didn't end online. Sources close to Boosie revealed that the aftermath had a profound emotional impact on him. Friends described him as more protective, more cautious, yet determined to ensure that his family was never disrespected again. He reportedly spent hours reflecting on what had happened, talking with loved ones about how to respond without letting emotions completely take over, but also without backing down. And just when it seemed the storm had settled, an unexpected twist occurred. Charleston White made a public statement, hinting at a deeper reason for his comments, something personal, controversial, and potentially explosive. Fans were left speculating. Was this the start of a reconciliation attempt, a veiled threat, or just another escalation? The uncertainty only fueled the fire, keeping the internet glued to every update. In the end, the aftermath of Boosie snapping revealed more than just a celebrity feud. It exposed raw human emotion, the lengths someone will go to protect family, and the power of social media to amplify every word, every reaction, and every mistake. As the initial storm of Boosie's response began to settle, the feud didn't fade. It escalated in ways that few could have anticipated. What started as a direct confrontation over disrespecting family quickly evolved into a broader cultural moment, sparking debates about loyalty, respect, and accountability in the public eye. On Boosie's side, supporters weren't just applauding a single video, they were rallying behind a man who had drawn a line in the sand. Social media became a platform for fans to express solidarity, share stories of personal experiences with disrespect, and amplify Boosie's message. Popular hashtags connected to the feud began trending nationally, reaching audiences far beyond the usual fanbase. Analysts noted that this wasn't just about entertainment gossip, it was a lesson in personal boundaries, public confrontation, and how far someone is willing to go to protect family. Charleston White, meanwhile, showed no signs of backing down. Reports indicate that he doubled down on his commentary, releasing additional videos and statements that teased deeper insights into why he had originally made the controversial remarks. His supporters defended him, claiming he was exercising free speech and calling out what he considered hypocrisy. The tension between the two camps grew even more intense, with debates spilling into comment sections, live streams, and even private group chats where fans dissected every word, gesture, and implication. The escalation wasn't just online. Industry insiders say that Boosie's team was actively managing the situation behind the scenes, ensuring that every response was calculated and that his family remained shielded from the worst of the public scrutiny. At the same time, sources suggest that Charleston White was meeting with advisors to craft his next move strategically, hinting that there might be more revelations to come, ones that could shock even his most loyal followers. Perhaps the most dramatic consequence of this escalation was the way it forced other public figures to pick sides, or at least comment. Musicians, influencers, and commentators began weighing in, sharing opinions that ranged from praise for Boosie's courage to criticism for the intensity of the feud. Every public statement, every repost, and every reaction became part of a larger narrative that was growing bigger by the hour. And yet, the most critical part of this escalation was still hidden from public view: the emotional toll on both men. While fans and media focused on viral clips and heated commentary, sources close to Boosie described him as exhausted but resolute, someone who understood the stakes and the potential fallout, but who refused to let disrespect go unanswered. Meanwhile, Charleston White was reportedly feeling the pressure of public scrutiny, realizing that his words had consequences far beyond what he initially imagined. The question everyone began asking was inevitable. Would this escalate further into a public showdown neither side could control, or was there still a path toward understanding, or even reconciliation? The answer was uncertain, and the suspense kept the entire social media universe watching, sharing, and speculating. Just when it seemed like the feud had reached its peak, the story took an unexpected twist that nobody saw coming. Reports surfaced of Charleston White revealing personal insights behind his comments that hinted at deeper conflicts, past grievances, and emotional struggles that had long been hidden from the public eye. Suddenly, the feud was no longer just about disrespecting Boosie's family. It was layered with personal histories, misunderstandings, and a level of complexity that made fans question what they thought they knew. For Boosie, this twist came as both a challenge and a revelation. Sources close to him say he spent hours reflecting on the situation, trying to balance his natural instinct to defend and confront with the awareness that there might be more to Charleston White's actions than initially assumed. Friends and family urged him to stay calm, to choose his battles wisely, and to respond in a way that maintained his integrity while still standing firm. Meanwhile, Charleston White's revelation sparked a wave of debate. Fans and commentators dissected every word, wondering whether this was an attempt to explain, justify, or even manipulate the narrative. Online, the conversation shifted. Some viewers sympathized with him, while others doubled down on supporting Boosie. The feud had now evolved from a simple clash into a complex story of emotion, loyalty, and accountability. What made this moment even more compelling was the emotional vulnerability on both sides. Boosie's fans noticed subtle changes in his tone and body language, in his latest statements, moments of frustration, reflection, and even glimpses of empathy. For Charleston White, the admissions added layers to his personality that many had not considered before. The feud, once purely confrontational, had become a human story about pride, family, mistakes, and the consequences of words in the age of social media. As the dust began to settle, one thing became clear. This clash was far from over, but it had forever changed the public perception of both men. Boosie's unwavering stand for his family earned him renewed respect, while Charleston White's transparency created curiosity and debate about his intentions and character. The drama, tension, and emotional resonance of the feud ensured that it would remain a trending topic for weeks to come. Ultimately, this story serves as a reminder of the power of words, the importance of boundaries, and the lengths people will go to protect what matters most. And for those watching closely, it's a lesson in patience, strategy, and the unpredictability of human emotion. But even as the feud continues to unfold, one thing is certain: Boosie has made it clear that family comes first, respect is non-negotiable, and anyone who dares to cross that line should expect the full force of his truth.